We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. We'll start with the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on to adoption of agenda.
President Armijo, before we move for recommendation to adopt the agenda, I'd like to recommend an amendment to the agenda.
Okay.
We'd like to move under business section number 5, item letter C, the RFPs, move them to item A, under the same, under 5.
Okay.
Which will push down the consent agenda to B, and then the action item disposal of fixed assets to C.
So we have a recommendation from Superintendent Viviano to approve the agenda with the one modification of moving 5C in front of 5A and then dropping everything else down one. Any questions? All right, there's no questions. I'll need a motion for approval. And a second?
I'll second.
So we have a motion and a second. All members in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Good. Welcome to everybody. Good to see people. It's a nice crowd. Pretty excited about the year getting started. I mean, we got off, I'd say, relatively smooth with a few hiccups here and there, but for the most part, I think we're off to a good start in the school year. Vice President Howells had a previous engagement. She made this engagement 31 years ago, so so she is sort of excused because she made it that far out in advance. And only, but she's celebrating her 31st wedding anniversary tonight, so she will not make it for tonight's meeting. But welcome to everyone else, and thank you for being here. Moving on. Approval of minutes.
President Armijo, I recommend approval of the regular meeting minutes from July 18th, 2023.
So I have a recommendation from Superintendent Viviano to approve the draft of the regular meeting minutes from July 18th, 2023. Do you have any questions, modifications, changes? All right, if there are none, I'll need a motion.
I so move. I'll second.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. All members in favor say aye.
Aye.
So that was Ms. Hudson, I think, that
Yes.
made the motion. All right. Citizen comment.
Okay.
So we have two. Wendy Lawson.
I'd like to defer my time to Mr. Sullivan.
Okay. First, so that will give you additional 2 minutes, sir. And you will be, there's no letters, correct? Okay. So Tom Sullivan.
Thank you, that's a little bit intimidating. Where should I stand? That's even worse. Mr. President and Board, thank you for this opportunity. I guess the first thing I want to do is acknowledge and congratulate the new superintendent, Mr. Viviano. I believe I was his middle school principal, and I know I signed his high school diploma.
Yes, sir.
Anyway,
And thank you.
without that, where would you be? Very good.
Thank you.
Go ahead. I'm actually here to provide an update to our parallel and often intersecting disputes with the town of Edgewood. I know that it's difficult for you folks to comment on that. So I'm making the rounds also to continue efforts to correct deliberate, falsified public records by the town of Edgewood. And they've been, I'm trying to correct them at the PSCOC, at the town of Edgewood meetings and here. So if I may, after extensive reviews of town of Edgewood agendas, minutes, and packets of material, I have this information to report. It's a condensed version. I did send a longer version through your custodian of public records system. We know that Mayor Armijo authored Town Resolution 2214 with no prior indication this was to be an agenda item for action. We know there have been no evictions of any tenants. We know that no community members' facility use request had ever been denied by the district. We know there were at most 3 uses of the old gym for elections in the last 10 years. We know MESD representatives were at numerous meetings listed on agendas numerous times to offer updates and reports on collaborations. They never once included any negative comments toward the district, even in the public comments notes. There were no complaints or concerns until the mayor and Mr. Powers created the problem on April 19, 2022. We know the October 4th meeting at Legacy Church was a charade. Inviting citizens to that meeting with a one-of-a-kind mailed flyer that cost $1,300. We know the sole intent of that meeting, verified by reliable citizen attendees, was solely to rile folks up and introduce alleged inappropriate uses of tax dollars by MESD. We know the mayor then both allowed or personally led that deceitful forum. She knew she was lying. We know the resulting petition was predicated on that deceitful information and subsequently used in a presentation to the New Mexico Public Outlay Commission claiming community outrage they helped instigate. We know that multiple New Mexico public entities now have incorrect official records which must be corrected. We also know that you can't dispute, this was directed at the mayor, we also know that you can't dispute any of this documentation which has resulted in your intentional defamation of me. I have some suggestions, I'll share them with you, I certainly welcome any others. I think they can repeal that resolution. I saw that it was easily done last week. They simply made a motion to repeal a resolution, done. They could apologize to those in attendance at those previous meetings. And they could send this apology to any news outlet that are used to announce commission meetings. There are several others, but as I say, I didn't want to take up any more of your time. But folks, I think what they've done is awful. I think it's a charade. I think they're riling people up for ridiculous reasons, and I will challenge every one of them to dispute anything that I've told you tonight.
Thank you, sir. All right, we're ready to move on. Superintendent Board comments and accommodations, student recognition.
President Armijo, members of the board, members of the audience, tonight we have some Moriarty High School students and Moriarty Middle School students who participated in the National History Day competition, and we wanted to invite them and recognize them for their accomplishments. With them is Amy Page, National History Day teacher from Moriarty High School, and I will turn it over to Amy, if she can introduce her group and let us know all the great things that happened.
President Armijo, members of the board, Superintendent Viviano, administration, we want to thank you for inviting us here. And to the public, we want to thank you for inviting us. Heather Page sends her apologies. She's our middle school teacher. She is currently coming back from taking her son to college. And so she is not back from Georgia just yet. But these are 4 of the 9 students that we took to nationals this year. A few of them are off in college, and a few of them we got a little bit late notice, and they had other activities that kept them from being here tonight. But we have representation from 3 of our projects. The 4th one is not represented because Meg's is at WNMU this year. So, but but we had a fantastic year. We had incredible support from the board and from the district in helping us get to nationals, and we are very appreciative of the financial and not just financial, but planning support that we got from the district as we went through this process, and Rob Adams was also incredibly supportive of that process as well, so thank you to all of you for that. It was our first year back after 4 years, and really 3 years of virtual competition, so it was really excited to get kids back to Washington DC and to have that full experience. And for anybody who saw our agenda, they know that it was absolutely jam-packed. We had incredible parents who traveled with us to DC, which was a blessing because we had lots of folks, and we visited Capitol Hill, and I would really rather let the kids tell you about their projects and maybe one of their favorite things from the trip, but we had a fantastic time. So why don't you guys introduce yourselves, tell them what your project category and maybe your favorite thing from the trip.
My project and also his project. Oh, my name is Rohan Patel,
My name's Andrew Ritter.
and our project was about the opium rules. Pretty much the summary of it is it basically broke Chinese isolation and
Well, I mean, the Opium Wars, they were a series of colonial wars fought between Britain and China, and to summarize, I mean, it completely changed the political scene in East Asia. It broke down Imperial China, like thousands of years of imperial rule just broken just by 2 wars.
Now, these gentlemen competed in group website, and when we got our preliminary results back, they break the kids into 10 preliminary groups. There are teams that compete at nationals from all of the states, from the territories, Southeast Asia. So we have teams from Korea and China and Taiwan, Singapore. Who else do we have? Saudi Arabia was there this year, I think. India was there this year. So there's lots of teams. And they came in 3rd in their prelim group. So number 1 in the room makes it to finals. So we were really close. So anything 4 and above is a really big deal. So these guys came in 3rd this year.
My name is Jenna Romero. My project was an exhibit, and my project was about agri-entertainment, which agri-entertainment is basically entertainment in agriculture, like McCall's and North Bayborn.
So the middle school kids in junior division under Heather Page, it was the first year that we've had Moriarty Mid competing again for a long time, took 4th in their room, so that's a big deal.
I'm Mackenzie Satterfield. I competed in the senior division group exhibit. My project was on how the use of medical cadavers advanced the medical field in general and advanced like the ethical practices that we still use to this day. And
How'd you place in the world?
I placed 2nd.
Mackenzie placed 3rd in the world the year before. This is our 3rd year in a row in an exhibit, group exhibit, where we have placed in the top 3, so we're incredibly proud of that. So, fantastic.
That really sinks in when, I forget what year it was when I was able to go with, and when you have all the kids in the stadium, University of Maryland, right?
So, was that the year Ryan and Ashley competed? 2007?
No, it was, what year was it?
Was that Jesse and?
Jesse, yeah.
Okay, so that would have been like 2016 or 17, I think.
And you posted this group, right, the video. I mean, I got extremely emotional seeing that because of the virtual piece. You know, well, knowing that the last few years we went through, and then knowing that that was probably the most, moving moment for me was watching all the students come in, into the auditorium. So seeing it again was pretty amazing.
So there's a moment, because we set up exhibits in the morning, and it's gonna choke me up, but there was a moment as the sun was coming through the window, and I saw Jen setting up the exhibit, and I just started to cry, because they were back. I'm sorry. It was a very touching moment.
Oh, you could feel it in that video. I mean, it was very moving.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, sorry. It was really good to be back. Thank you guys.
Very good. We use a term it's no joke. I don't know where she got that from. It's no joke, but it's no joke. I mean, it was extremely just breathtaking to see those kids again. I'm gonna lose it, Amy.
And to carry on the tradition at
Well, no, I
MHS
mean-
and now MMS and the other schools, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, it was just very moving. So thank you so much, Amy. I mean, as always, please extend that to Heather as well. So thank you guys. so
Parents,
much.
congratulations. I know there's a lot of work on the parents' end.
Oh, and I can't even express what an incredible group of parents and how helpful it was to have them there to navigate. It was just incredible. Yeah.
And when you say world, it literally is the entire planet.
It's a big deal. Yeah.
It's awesome. All right, very good. Deep breath. Deep breath, exactly. Principals and athletic director board reports. Any questions for principals? Athletic director? No? It was good to see your reports again. So, definitely some common themes woven throughout several of them, and I think we'll probably all make note of some of the security stuff that's been brought up, and cameras and such, and so, we'll get to work on that, so thank you for your information. All right, Board President, Board of Education. Anything?
Just welcome back and excited for the 2023-24 school year.
Yes, welcome back. It was very exciting. I enjoyed the convocation. I thought that was just very electric, and everybody just got off to a really high energy. And also this last Wednesday, I went down to the estancia and watched the afternoon session of goats and sheep of our kids there, and thoroughly enjoyed it. I hadn't been around any of that in many, many, many years, and wished I could have gone back for more. But next year, I will put it on my schedule. But it was very exciting to see the kids.
A lot of energy.
A lot of energy. A lot of hard work.
That's right.
A lot of hard work. So thank you.
Definitely the convocation. I actually liked the keynote speaker. I think it was energizing, electric, as you say, to have someone maybe outside of education. I think sometimes we get that education hat on and we're in the weeds and we're all in, and sometimes it was just nice to see a different perspective and to re-energize the staff, to actually look at themselves a little bit and reflect on why they're there, why they make choices to be there, and then go out and do good things. So I really enjoyed his presentation. It was also entertaining as well, so I definitely appreciate that. All right. Well, we'll move on to superintendent's report.
All right, President Armino, members of the board, before I go on to the discussion item that's in your packet, just wanted to let you know that our projects, you saw some of the pictures of the projects from summer work, the outdoor classroom at Route 66, and some other things that were provided for you in the principal's reports, but the MHS marquee is now completely done. I sent you guys pictures with the rocks, and MHS staff is getting up and running with the trainings, and so thank you for approving that. It looks really nice in our front entrance. Absolutely. Moving on, we do have in your packet, there is an item for discussion if need be, the Cooperative Educational Services 6-year study selection criteria. We have joined up with 13 other school districts, put our name in the hat, and to join this pilot project. It was explained in the criteria process. CES will be working with the districts. Again, as of yesterday, there were 14 of us from around the state, everywhere from Massachusetts, Dulce, the Las Vegas schools, Taos, and they'll be coming in and looking at our systems, giving us some resources during the first year to look at our systems across the board, so we can get several data points, not only our data points from our stakeholders and our principals and everyone else that works with the schools, but to bring some outside eyes in and look at our systems. And then the second year really started implementation of a targeted strategic plan. And so we're very excited about that.
Any questions? I would just, I mean, I guess one of the main points that I'd like to bring out, and it's in the MOU, is that if it's not working, or if it's become burdensome on the district, we can act on it. I think that's important. I think the other thing that I feel important that was woven throughout the document is we don't give up any local voice. We don't, you know, it's basically just an outside eye, you know, looking at our system. So as long as those two criteria, you know, were met, I felt comfortable with it. So I just thought I'd share that.
Yeah, it's a good point, President Arvino. The MOU is a, even though it's a 6-year project, it's a yearly MOU, and there are options to you know, either CES can opt out or we can opt out if things, like you said, become burdensome, or just not headed in the right direction for what we wanted to be tailored for. Yeah.
And I also think the other thing I liked about it is that it's not necessarily driven by DEP, that this is other educators, you know, who bring data-driven research to the process. And, you know, so I thought that was another strength of this MOU. So
I'll be, tomorrow I will be attending a meeting at CES with all the other school districts to dive into it a little deeper and have discussions, especially with the consultants that they're looking at, and make sure that we vet them and we're satisfied with who they may bring in before they come to our doors.
Well, this helps provide additional resources.
Yeah.
for sure. So do you have a recommendation for us?
I do. If we'd like to move on then, I'd like to recommend approval of the MOU for the Cooperative Educational Services 6-year study agreement for improving teaching and learning in schools.
So a recommendation from Superintendent Bibiano to approve the MOU for CES 6-year study agreement for improving teaching and learning in schools. If there's no further questions, I'll need a motion.
I move that we accept the MOU from CES.
All right, I need a second.
I'll second.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. All members in favor, say aye.
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 Catch you, Mr. Chet.
Thank you. More information to come after my meeting tomorrow.
Yep. All right. All right.
Next, under my report is the open meetings resolution, the annual open meetings resolution, and for approval.
All right. So we have a recommendation from Superintendent Bibiano to approve the open meetings resolution. Any questions? There are none, I'll need a motion.
I so move.
All right, I'll need a second.
Second.
So a motion and a second, all members in favor?
Aye.
Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Moving on, thank you. Learning services.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you.
Congratulations, thank you.
Any questions for Mr. Merrill?
President report, I do have an update for our student senior arts account. So county students are entering halls right now. So as of today, including the preschool, I'm gonna go ahead and give you that number. So total, we have 23,800. Now I'm gonna give you the number that is what we're funded on, okay? So right now we have 2,211 students. This past year, we were funded on 2275.5. So we're close. We still have some kiddos that are saying they're coming. We've made some communication contacts with them, and they say they're coming. We have a few families on vacation. So numbers numbers are steadily creeping up. Kudos to the high school for coming up with a really good system to count every student, but we're looking good.
Mr. Romero, we expanded pre-K, so how many 3 and 4 year olds?
So right now we have 107 3 and 4 year olds in this building, which is huge and great for us. So we're very excited. And last year we ran about 80 or 85, Catherine?
Say that again?
Total last year about 80?
85.
85. So Ms. Pelton is, she's keeping busy running 107 preschools.
Thank you.
So far.
So far.
Yeah, I just like that number. That's, yeah.
What else?
It's good to see more.
Other than that, I'll stay for any questions.
Looks good, thank you so much. Thank you for including the pictures. Almost exciting. Those were really, I really did like those. All right, nothing else, we'll move on to business. And we will start with the action item for RFP 8124-01.
President Armijo, I recommend the approval of RFP 81-24-01 ancillary services.
So a recommendation from Superintendent Viviano for the approval of RFP 81-24-01 ancillary services. The rubric was provided in the board packet. Any questions on it?
Looks like there's only one call for,
Go ahead.
Because members of the board, there's two,
Two.
LSG and Associates and Soliant. Due to the limitation of ancillary providers in the area, we can't ever just go with one. We have to kind of grab from everybody to be able to fill all the need of the district.
And in the future, if they're more available, that is something we could bring in-house as well, correct?
Yes, we continuously have it on our website. We try to hire our own. They get paid more through these companies, so it's hard to get them in.
So if we have no questions, I'll need a motion for approval.
I move that we approve the RFP for the ancillary services.
All right, then I'll need a second.
I'll second.
So we have a motion and a second. All members in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. We'll move on to consent agenda.
President Armijo, I recommend approval of consent agenda finance items 1 through 3.
So the recommendation from Superintendent Viviano to approve consent agenda items finance 1 through 3. Any questions? Check. And the third item includes the POs that were 20,000. So if there's no
Yes, sir.
questions, I'll need a motion.
So,
Second?
I'll second.
So we have a motion by Mr. Chavez and a second by Ms. Burns. All members in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, sir. All right, we'll just see Mr. Sullivan. You can get through the meeting before midnight.
I forgot to acknowledge that I believe Mr. Viviano is the first graduate at MHS to become superintendent, because I think Mr. Chavez went to Stanley.
Oh, yeah, that is true. Great observation, sir.
thank you.
All right. Moving on to disposal of fixed assets.
Yes, sir. So we're still moving some things out,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, clearing some of the items that have been around for a very long time. So, I'd like to make a recommendation, approval for disposal of fixed assets. That's in your packet.
So the recommendation from Superintendent Viviano for disposal of his fixed assets. Those assets were provided in your board packet. Any questions? If there are no questions, I'll need a motion for disposal.
I so move.
And a second? All right, so I have a motion and a second. All members in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right.
I guess, anything for us on any of the others?
Mr. President, members of the board, I don't have any updates on the audit. We're just providing documents to them as quickly as we can. We'll have another audit committee update soon, so I'll send out an invite in the next week or so.
I'm gonna peek at like, this will take me just a second. So, moving on to fixed asset certification. You wanna do that?
President Armijo, I recommend approval of the fixed assets certification.
That was a much bigger document. All right, we have a recommendation from Superintendent Viviano to approve the fixed asset certification. Any questions? All right, if there are none, I'll need a motion for approval. All right, I'll need a second.
I'll second.
All right, so all members in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion passes, thank you. So nothing for audit committee to say? All right, moving on to personnel then.
President Armijo, members of the board, just to give you an update on personnel vacancies. Currently certified, we have 6, classified 5, and then 1 district. And that's been updated since the report went out to you, so I just wanted to give you those numbers. We really haven't had much movement. Every time we get down, someone else resigns, and so it puts me back in the same position of trying to fill the position. So we've been steady about 12 positions where we currently have 12 vacancies. And that's not including the occupational therapists, the IAG, and those positions that are constantly open for us. So we also have a training coming up tomorrow for volunteers. So I'm doing an orientation. Currently we have 27 participants. That will be, that's just volunteers, and then I'll be working with new employees and any staff that are coming in and conducting an orientation with them, for them also. On the 27th of July, we had 20 new certified licensed teachers, 7 classified, 4 central office, 1 maintenance, 4 coaches, and they attended the new employee orientation. Training was done, district policies, and all with the new employees, and they were very eager to get to working with the scholars in our district. On the 28th, the teachers were provided with a wonderful day of professional development by Mrs. Romero and Mrs. Armijo, and that went very well. A lot of activity, a lot of engagement, so it was nice to see everyone ready to get started and get moving with our scholars. And any questions?
Questions for Dr. Buckley? No, thank you, sir. Appreciate your report. Thank you. Moving on to support services, special projects, and other items. We'll start with transportation. Any questions concerning the transportation report? Any updates for us? I mean, just
It's the same.
same as before. I know you don't want to.
Unfortunately, it is. It's, Dr. Buckley and myself, so we have the resignation of the transportation coordinator. Dr. Buckley and myself met this morning with staff members to set up systems in the transition period. We do have the position on our website as well as the Mexico REAP, which is called the Mexico REAP, but it actually extends beyond our borders of our state. And so we're hoping to get some applicants, and get a pool and move forward very quickly with that. But we had a really good meeting this morning. The staff members had a lot of questions, right? They're nervous, but they answered a lot of their own questions with the actions that they're already putting into place. They're working hard. They're trying to work on the routes and get them all, set up as we need it. But it'll be moving forward pretty quickly, I believe. Yeah.
And I had a conversation
conversation with Superintendent Viviano earlier today, and, you know, I brought up the software that we had approved, several months back or whatever, and it's starting to be utilized, so it's there. It's probably not being completely used to its full capacity, but, it's being used, and, hopefully they continue to use it, get some more support, you know, just to hopefully solve some of these issues for us.
A few of the drivers, had asked to meet again on Friday. They have some ideas and proposals that may possibly consolidate some routes. They've been on them, which may free up, one, maybe two drivers, so we can get them work on some other routes and maybe not cancel, 6 buses a day.
And the software still hopefully will come online, you know, from the security aspects of it that we'd also like with the, you know, once that system is completely ironed out, we will, you know, be able to, have those features available to
Is it pretty
our
easy to
families.
use?
What's that?
Is it pretty easy to use, the software?
It seems pretty user friendly, yeah, with scanning the students' cards and whatnot, it's, you know,
Once you get on the kid,
all of our hardware's been installed, all the tablets are in, the scanners, and so it's a matter of calibrating the GPS and getting those routes, updated on them, yeah.
Very good, appreciate that. You're welcome. All right. Any other questions, transportation, tech, maintenance, food service? Actually, we got an action item, I'm going too fast, so, the per capita feeder program.
President Armijo, I recommend, that we approve our yearly per capita feeder program, that we bring this time of year as we start school.
All right, so a recommendation from Superintendent Viviano to approve the per capita feeder program. Any questions? If there are none, I'll need a motion. And a second?
I second.
So we have a motion and a second. All members in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. All right. Now, tech coordinator, board maintenance, food service. Any questions?
The maintenance issues are being, like you said, the security cameras. all
Yeah.
of that are-
Common theme, you can see it throughout there, so I think that, you know, I think one of the things, and it's another conversation I've had with other districts, but as well as, the Superintendent Viviano, is a lot of money has been promised by the feds to pushed out, you know, after the last tragedy, you know, major tragedy, and, the reality is you know, and then talking to other districts, no one has seen that, you know, I think a lot of districts are, you know, holding pattern, waiting for that, you know, to happen, you know, so maybe, something by our next legislative session will start to help districts, you know, acquire the funds in order to proceed with some of those, so we'll see how that all plays out, but it's on everyone's mind, that's for sure. And, I would just comment on the both the tech coordinator report, just a lot of action, and it's nice to see that. And the numbers of staff members participating and attending, that's very exciting. That's healthy, like day and night different, and so I definitely appreciate seeing that. And then just being a fly on the wall during the IT, when they mentioned in their report, the rollout of that security update for Windows that just created a nightmare for everyone. You know, but once again, you know, our IT team prevailed and
They moved on it quickly.
They moved on it
quickly, and, you know, they made sure that there were computers working as needed.
Yeah.
To make sure that school was functioning, not 100%, right? But they worked on it and they got it within a few hours, everything patched and ready to go. And, it just blew right by. Yeah.
And you'll hear, I've said it before, and I'll say it to you, you know, one thing I appreciate about our IT team is, they are vested in student outcomes. It's not just a job, it's not just Cat5, you know, Ethernet cables and,
Not at all.
access points and stuff like that. They are truly vested in, if they do their job well, they know that, you know,
students succeed as well with that, so. I think it's, I'm always gonna say that. So,
Yeah,
I'm really proud of
and from my lens, I mean, Paul, Sean, and Lucas, if there's an issue that comes on, they triage that situation very quickly, and it's what's best for students and getting that up and running as
Yeah.
quickly as possible. They get it, they understand it, we appreciate it, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, if there's no further questions, we will move on to board policy.
President Armijo, members of the board, we don't have any policy updates for you as of yet. We do have some movement from policy services. Kat's nodding her head. She's been emailing, through the School Board Association and then the company that we work with. But it's been prompted across the state. Where are they? Because legislation happened and now we're supposed to update, right? So there is some movement. We did find out that John Kennedy, who is running the policy services now, plans on retiring at the end of the year. I don't know if he meant December or the school year. But they've been slow with getting these out to us. But we will get those up and running and into your hands for review as soon as we get them.
Probably be a good time to just say hi to Ms. Valdez. Hi, Kat.
Yeah.
Just thank you for, I know this is a lot, there's a lot to learn and it's coming at you at 100 miles an hour, and I can say that I definitely appreciate, your willingness to learn and help the board, and so keep Valdez, everybody.
Thank you so much.
All right, so then we'll move on to advanced planning.
President Armijo, members of the board, so I'll jump to B, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just have an update, August 29, 2023. That's the day for School Board Declaration of Candidacy. Moving ahead to September 15th, and I put this on here, maybe we could have some discussion, we can have a conversation with everyone that's gonna be involved on our Family Engagement Day. With the new hours that were set for school districts, debating parent-teacher conferences can count, it can't count, right, to meet the 1140 hours. MESD has put into place, instead of traditional parent-teacher conference days, it's gonna be family engagement days, and schools are already planning for that, right? Because it seems far away, a month away, but they gotta be ready. So if it's okay, Ms. Romero, if you have any more to add to kind of activities you've heard or principles, it's gonna be a fun day. It's gonna be a parent-teacher conference-ish, right, to have those, but the schools will be open for families to come in and participate in a variety of activities.
Mr. President, members of the board, as Superintendent Viviano just said, I won't repeat what he said, but talking to some of the principals already, they have some great ideas. So for it to count for instructional hours, the activities have to be instructional and family oriented. So that can look like anything. We've had ideas with maybe partnering with our FFA program and then visiting elementary or the preschool and calling families in, and there's so much instruction and learning that goes with that. So partnering with the high school kids at the elementaries and having that type of instruction happening, that could go with any program from the high school. But then also at the high school, there's ideas of learning within the classroom, what that looks like, the halls, interventions, things that they're doing with it. So there's lots of ideas. We have had some conversation about what about those families that just do need a parent-teacher conference. There is availability within the day to set your schedule, so maybe you do parent-teacher conferences from 8 to 10, and then the rest of the day is a family engagement style learning activities. Transportation is not provided that day. It's come on your own, but everything else is. Okay.
Thank you.
Would you guys like to add anything? Did I miss anything?
said, under I, or A, you know, if there's anything, you might recommend or like to see on the agenda for next board meeting, just reach out to himself, to him or myself, and we'll see what we can do. All right, just zipping through it, so I think we are ready for your recommendation on adjournment.
All right, President Armijo, I recommend adjournment of tonight's board meeting.
All right, so recommendation from Superintendent Viviano for adjournment. I'll need a motion. And a second? Second. All members in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right, meeting is adjourned. Thank you.